Our top story this hour in the latest developments following the Pahalgam terror attack that claimed 26 lives. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that his country is ready to cooperate on a neutral investigation into the recent terrorist attack. Amid ongoing airspace restrictions, India's DGCA has advised airlines to improve passenger communication and in-flight services as flight times grow longer due to Pakistan's airspace closure. Indian security forces have intensified their crackdown on terrorists and their networks in the Kashmir Valley. 7 residential houses linked to active terrorists have been demolished across Pulwama, Pahalgam, Tral, Bajbera and Shopian. Meanwhile, the United Nations Security Council has strongly condemned the attack. In a statement, members underscored the need to bring those responsible, including perpetrators, organisers, financiers and sponsors, to justice. In a related operation, security forces demolished the house of Pahalgam terror-accused Ashan ul-Haq Sheikh in Maran, Pulwama. During the search, an IED was found and destroyed on site due to the risk involved in moving it. The Indian Army reported that several Pakistan Army posts opened unprovoked small arms fire along the line of control during the intervening night of April the 25th. Multiple posts across the de facto boundary separating Indian and Pakistani forces in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh initiated the firing. Indian troops returned fire with no casualties reported. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has downplayed concerns about rising diplomatic tensions between India and Pakistan. Let's listen in.
There have been tensions on that border for 1,500 years. So, the same as it's been, but they'll get it figured out one way or the other. I'm sure that I know both leaders. There's great tension between Pakistan and India, but there always has.
Meanwhile, the US Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, expressed solidarity with India, tweeting, "We stand with India in the wake of the horrific Islamist terror attack in Pahalgam, which targeted and killed 26 Hindus." From Pakistan, PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari also shared his thoughts on the Pahalgam attack. Let's listen in.
It's unfortunate that each terrorist attack is turned into a bilateral dispute rather than us focusing on combating terrorism itself. In this instance, as you've seen, it was a terrorist attack in Indian-occupied Kashmir, and the Indian government lost no time in blaming Pakistan.
Meanwhile, Iran has offered to mediate between India and Pakistan, highlighting Iran's deep cultural connections with both nations. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi quoted Saadi Shirazi's 13th century poem Bani Adam to stress the shared bond of humanity. A senior Saudi official said Riyadh is actively working to prevent an escalation between the two nuclear-armed neighbours. Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan has personally spoken with his Indian and Pakistani counterparts in separate phone calls, according to his office. Well, joining us to discuss these latest developments is Brian Thomas, a correspondent with NewsX and NewsX World. He's joining us from Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir, India. Brian, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us about these operations that took place on 7 residents within the region, leading to the destroying of homes and an IED as well?
Well, clearly, from yesterday itself, the security forces have been very vigilant to identify, to track and punish the very militants. In South Kashmir's many such districts, you talk about Pulwama, you talk about Pahalgam, you talk about Tral, you talk about Bijbehara, or you talk about Shopian. There have been many such places, or Aharabal as well. Many such places, there have been many such counters that have been taken by the security forces to demolish houses of the militants itself. Yesterday night also there were many such, and these operatives have started yesterday itself, day before yesterday itself. Today also in the morning itself, there were many such houses that was demolished also. We've even exclusively filed a report also from Tral itself to show the situation there. Earlier we were in Shopian also, we were in Pulwama itself to show the situation there after the houses were demolished. And yes, security forces have been vigil itself. Even the army chief has taken many such high-level meetings. He has been advised also to be briefed every hour of the operations that have been taken by the J&K police, by the CRPS, by the 16 corps commanders. So all these operations have been done to identify and to punish the terrorists, to punish the homes also who were responsible for the deadly attack that happened in Pahalgam that costed lives of 26 innocent and 17 who have been still injured itself. Yes.
Yes, Brian, I also want to look at the diplomatic situation here. Of course, we've heard from Donald Trump, we've heard from Iran's foreign minister, we've heard from Saudi's foreign minister as well. What do you think the global community's role will be in trying to look at a de-escalation of situations?
Well, clearly, there have been many such diplomatic support also that India has been gaining, and there is a diplomatic concern also after the attack. Many world leaders came out to support India in the times of the horror that Kashmir witnessed, where 26 innocent tourists were killed. Even UN has also come out in support and said that there should not be any war-like situation that should be prevailed. Even US President Donald Trump has also given statements also saying that there should be a solution towards this problem. And very importantly, there have been international support also. You talk about United Kingdom, you talk about China, you talk about US, you talk about France. Even the G7 nations also came out in support of towards India for this very incident that has happened. Many such envoys were also dialing. Italian Prime Minister, many such international envoys were dialing the Prime Minister, having a telephonic conversation also to understand and to take a stock of the situation, and also show their solidarity for the loss that India has seen with 26 people losing their lives, unfortunately.
Yes, Brian, finally I want to touch on the comment that we've heard from Pakistan's Prime Minister saying his nation is ready for a neutral investigation. What does that mean, and what's the general consensus with locals who of course have been privy and part of this harrowing terrorist attack, it being on their doorstep and affecting their community as well?
Well, clearly, there has been a back foot also that have been taken by by Pakistan itself. Yes, following the very devastating Pahalgam attack, now Sharif's statement aligns with remarks from Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif, who has also called for an international probe, asserting that now Pakistan is ready to cooperate with international investigators as well. And this escalation will be costing a lot of big losses for Pakistan itself, with the Indus Water Treaty also being suspended. So yes, there have been troubles that will be emanating, that will be formulating in Pakistan itself, and now we can see there is a back foot also that have been given by the Prime Minister himself.
Brian, Thomas, thank you ever so much for joining us live from Jammu and Kashmir.